Hey there guys, I'm your resident fantasy therapist. Welcome back to my channel. Those of you here for the first time, hi. My name's Kat Bowser. I'm a licensed therapist. I'm also a writer working on my first 2 novels, one the start of a series and one a standalone. And on my channel I like to talk about the psychology of writing, behind the characters, behind the world. Because to me that's what makes a book and a story interesting. Hey guys, I have another book review for you today. This one is another fairy tale retelling because if you guys have not noticed yet, that seems to be one of my favorites. This one is called A Tale of Ice and Ash by Katherine MacDonald. And yes, this is, I believe it's the second of her books I've read, and yeah, they're good. So for those of you that haven't seen my book reviews before, what I do is I give you guys a non-spoiler review, and I will start with a summary of the book, usually from the back of the book. I'll give you guys what I liked, what I thought needed work, and what I thought was unique about the story. And then I give it a psychological realism scale. And what that is I go and I look at any psychological issues in the book that are brought up. Sometimes it's mental illness, sometimes it's character development, lots of different things. And then I give you guys if I thought it was portrayed accurately or not. And I give that a scale of 1 to 5, but 5 is reserved strictly for real life stories or stories inspired by real life stories. So usually I only go up to 4 on that one. So that being said, I'm just going to jump right into this one. So A Tale of Ice and Ash by Katherine MacDonald. Mirror, mirror on the wall, who will come to save us all? 5 years after her stepmother tried to have her killed, Erwin has built a new life in the woods, far from the princess she was meant to be. She is now a skilled treasure hunter and a master of the dwarven underground. Erwin's peaceful existence is shattered when she crosses paths with Cole, the son of her enemy and a thorn in her side growing up. Erwin learns that though she escaped the evil queen's clutches, the kingdom she left behind has suffered. Together with her adoptive family, she raises an army to restore her rightful place on the throne. But something is stirring under the mountain, a centuries-old secret begging to break free. So this is a Snow White retelling. And I love it. Oh my gosh. I think this is my favorite of the fairy tale retellings that I've read so far. So what did I like about it? Well, let's start with the obvious. The main character is awesome. I love this version of Snow White because she's not this passive victim. You know, she doesn't just wait around. She sets out to set her own destiny. She doesn't have to be told when her life is in danger. She notices and she takes it into her own hands and she heads off on her own. And when she's in her new adoptive family with a family of dwarves, she becomes more independent. She learns to be a treasure hunter, and she was already doing swordplay and stuff as a child. So very much an active protagonist, and definitely I know people love that, and I definitely love it too. I love her personality because you can tell there's the nobility training in there, so you can tell she's been raised in court, but you can also tell she has this sass about her and this independence that comes out in different ways depending on what her circumstances is. So she's smart. She knows how to work to her situation, and I love that. What did I think needed work? That's a hard question. Ay, caramba. You know, I can't really think of a really solid one because I really loved this book. Because the only thing that comes to mind is when you first meet Cole, he's kind of an ass, but that's the point. So I don't really count that against it. So, gal, I don't know, honestly. I can't think of something in this book that kind of turned me off or anything like that. I really liked it. Usually the middle part of books kind of drag a little bit, and I think that's probably the strongest part of this book is the middle. And so yeah, I'm gonna have to give you guys a rain check on that one. What's something I thought was unique? Dwarves. That is my favorite mythological creature, and she rolls with it in this book, and I freaking love it. I love dwarven culture, and she doesn't shy away from it. Like, that's a big part of this book is the dwarves' culture and their beliefs, and their knowledge, and I am all over it. Give it to me. I was so happy when I read that because it's definitely drawing on old Norse dwarves. So the kind of dwarves I really like. And they're much more independent. Like there's males and females. They're different types. They talk about adoptive family and things like that. All things that I love. Because one of the things I love about dwarves is usually their strong devotion to family. And that's definitely here. And I give it to me. I love it. That, honestly, that was probably my favorite part of this book, is just the dwarven culture. So, if I was going to talk about the psychological realism scale, what do I talk about? I'm going to talk about the morality, in that Cole and his mother are kind of in a pickle here. And like I said, I'm not going to give you guys spoilers, but there's a contrast of morals. And morality is always one of my favorite things to see and read about in books, because I think it's such an interesting dilemma, because morality, unlike most people think, morality shifts, it changes. You have certain aspects of your morality that are kind of stone set, like those aren't going to shift, but the majority of your morality is going to shift a little bit depending on what your situation is and depending on where you are in life. As we grow up, our morals change and they shift and they undergo transformation. Sometimes we shift or abandon morals entirely. And I like seeing characters go through a moral dilemma. So it's always a hard situation with even your own morals. But when your morals contrast with someone that you really care about, that's hard to try to maneuver, because your morals are something that is generally very important to you. You know, they determine what you think is right, what you think is wrong. And usually people within a family have very similar morals. That's usually why we get along well with other people, is we have similar morals. Most couples that are very successful have very similar morals. But you can't choose the morals of your family. So sometimes your family shifts morals and it doesn't agree with your mindset anymore. Then what do you do? And that's kind of something that gets explored a little bit. And it's done so well, because it's not like one day a character wakes up and says, well, I can't support this person anymore. No, because that's not how it works, because you have a divide. If you care about someone but their morals are shifting, it doesn't make you not care about them anymore. So now you kind of, okay, now what do I do? What takes precedence, my love for them or my devotion to what I think is right? And that's all I can tell you guys. But I love how that was done. I would give it a 4, very effectively done, because it took its time. And I think that is one of the best things a story can do with a psychological issue, is take time with it. Far too often what happens is people they go through them too quickly. But this book doesn't do that, so I love that about it. So that being said, I gave this book a 5 out of 5, because like I said, this was probably my favorite fairy tale retelling that I've read thus far, and I read a lot of them. So really enjoyed this book. Highly, highly recommend it. I didn't even mention the romance in this book. There is a romance in here, and it's done so well. But spoiler territory, so I can't go into that. But there is one in here, and it's done magnificently. So definitely check this out, especially if you're a fan of fairy tale retellings like I am. So thank you guys for chiming in to see my video. As always, if you guys have suggestions or topics you want me to talk about regarding psychology or writing, let me know. I'll get to them as soon as I can. If you don't want to miss when I upload, make sure you subscribe and ring that bell so you get notified whenever a new video goes up. I try to upload 2 videos a week, hopefully more, but you know, depends on life. And until next time, I hope you guys stay safe and have a good one.